Registration for the 2026 CrossFit Open is live.
I love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me.
It's lunchtime. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Lunch with the Clydesdale. Good to see everyone here today. Apparently, Corey forgot he had an eye appointment today. He said he was going to be here. That's why he's not. So we'll miss him, but we'll go ahead and get this show on the road. Today is the official registration sign-up day of the first day of the signups for the 2026 CrossFit Games Open. And it is today. It was at noon Eastern time today. And I actually got on this morning, tried to sign up before the show. Was not able to. Little nitpick. If you say it's going to be open on the 14th, probably should have done it like at midnight. So that when people got up, they weren't discouraged when they tried to log on and sign up and they couldn't. I guess it's live now. They went live at noon. So yeah, other than that, we are live, people. Hopefully we can get a higher sign up this year than last year. It's the best $20 you can spend. Truly is. I've had so many fun times during the Open, and it's worth every penny of that $20. Jay Birch, I don't care about the other side of the world. CrossFit is really an American sport right now. Let the WFP focus on Europe and the world. I know that there are participants from around the world, and I'm not discrediting that. But we are centric to the US. That is where the most affiliates are. That's where the most participants in the Open are. And so a lot of the marketing should be geared to that, in my opinion. So there we are. He's cheating. He was on the Savant podcast chat. Yeah, but you can do that from the waiting room of a doctor. I've done it in the past. Just saying. We've got Lana already signed up. We've got Joseph Ramirez already signed up. And he's here.
I am. Sorry, I'm late.
Hopefully your eyes aren't dilated and you can actually see.
They were. So, fun fact, I found out this morning, you can have your eyes undilated after they dilate them. Did not know that before. So, it had been 2 years since they actually dilated my eyes. And so fun fact, my eye doctor is a very good friend of mine. I played soccer with him for 6-7 years, something like that. So Dave was like, I need to dilate your eyes. I was like, whatever, let's go. And there's this sign up on the wall that says, ask your eye doctor about undilating your eyes. And I was like, oh, okay. I didn't even know that was an option. It is. It works.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I always struggle to get my sunglasses on to get to the car. I love the challenge of feel like I'm an F1 racer coming home with everything so big and bright on the way.
Dude. And it never fails that it was cloudy when I walked into the office, and it was beautiful, bright, sunshiny day whenever I left. So, but it actually works. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Cool. I didn't know. There's people chatting. I don't know what they're talking about. Okay.
Not a clue.
So glad you could be here. Open registration is up. I tried to sign up this morning. I couldn't. I will sign up now after this show. And yeah. So that happens today. We also have the WFP that released their season schedule yesterday. And lots of cool changes. So I don't want this just to be a schmear campaign. I think they made some relevant changes that we've actually discussed on the Sunday night show for sure. Jamie was a big proponent in using raw score throughout the season, just because it's easier to explain the season then, because you earn this many points here, this many points here, they carry over. Person with the most points at the end wins. Way easier to explain than you took first here, so here's the points given, blah, blah, blah. She actually did a full spreadsheet of every score, raw versus assigned, and it doesn't even really change the leaderboard at all, but it just makes it easier to understand.
Yeah. For people who are used to looking at scores in that manner. Hey, this is how many points you got. Moving right along.
Yeah. So that was a good move. They did not go to the 4th tour stop.
Saw that.
Sticking with 2 actual tour stops in a finals. They changed the fact that pro cards don't get an automatic bid to the finals.
Oh, I missed that part of it. Okay.
So if you were one of the 20 pro card holders, unlike last year, you could have skipped tour stop 1, tour stop 2. You still got to go to Copenhagen because you had a pro card. This year, that is not the case. So if you don't get enough, if you are not in the top 30 points wise going to the finals, you do not get to go, regardless of pro card or not.
Good. That makes sense.
They are keeping the participants to 50, but they're all pros this year. There is no challenger division. So the 50 that go will all be in the same division, and you will all compete for the same kind of points.
That's a lot of people.
It is. I not a fan of that move. I think watching 10 heats of an event is tough.
Bro.
And that's just like what, so that the men do 10 heat or 5 heats, women do 5 heats. That's 10 heats of the same event. That seems a little bit rough.
It's overkill. It's overkill. It's watering down the competition at that point, in my opinion, because you're going to have your top 10, 15, whatever, that are actually fighting for points, and there's going to be a bunch of other people there.
Yeah, I think 30 is a good number. So, and they're only taking 30 to Copenhagen, but tour stops 1 and 2, they're doing 50 each. I wonder if they are hedging because of the withdrawals of last year to make sure they have enough participants to backfill in case that happens.
Well, I would say probably a little bit of that, and a little bit of if somebody just shows up and they are holy shit fit, and instead of just, hey, this is the top 30, this is the top 50, and we're only taking 30, you give people in that lower half of that a little bit of an opportunity to make it to the top 30, and then make it and have their opportunity to get to the finals. So I still think 50 is a lot.
This is the other big switch, in that is the 20 with the pro card go to tour stop 1 and 2, and then there's a qualifier to get in to that as well, just like last year. So 20 pro card members are automatically in tour 1 and 2. There's a qualifier to then become the other group. Plus, they've added in, and I have this up on my screen just to make sure I don't get it wrong. Yeah. It'll be a 50 athlete field. It'll be comprised of the 2026 signed pros. Those are the 20 WFP finals finishers. That part I don't get yet.
Yeah, I don't know what that is, but okay.
Up to 5 invited athletes and a minimum of 15 athletes from the online qualifier.
Hold on, let me go check my email to see if I got an invite.
So you got the 20, you got the 15 from the qualifier. That's 35. You've got 5 invitees. And you're saying 10 people who went to Copenhagen get automatic bid to these events because they finished. So essentially they're saying the 10 that didn't get a pro card but went and finished the finals don't have to do the qualifiers this year. I'm talking it all out loud because I just read this and I think that's what it's saying. If you went and finished Copenhagen, you don't have to do the qualifier this year for any of the events.
So is that them rewarding the people who stuck with them and showed up at Copenhagen and saying, hey, thank you for coming, you know, and if you want to participate again next year, you don't have to do the qualifier? Yeah. I still don't know how I feel about that. I don't. Here's my thing. We're doing stuff like that. Is that now you're inviting people. You don't know if they're going to participate or not. You're rewarding them for showing up last year, and that's cool. But you don't know what their fitness level is going to look like whenever your thing starts. Right? That's my problem with just inviting people like, oh, you showed up last year. Cool. Maybe you got injured in the meantime. Maybe you stopped competing for whatever reason. You know, you had family, seasons of life type stuff. And so now what if those people don't decide to decline? Do you just now backfill down that list? There's only so many.
There is no more list. There was only 30 athletes at Copenhagen. 20 of them are pro card, 10 are the other. But you would go from the 15 qualifiers to 18 qualifiers or 20 qualifiers.
Yeah.
Tread and I actually makes a good point. Actual finishes in a live comp are better than online qualifiers. I agree. And then Eric Mackey did correct me. This is just for the first tour stop. This is how they are filling the first tour stop.
Well, if that's the case, then that makes sense, because then this is how we're going from there. And then from tour stop 1 to 2, and then the finals, we're just going to go on our point system. And like, if you made it in here, cool. But from what I saw, there was a qualifier for tour stop 2 and another qualifier for the finals. That I don't understand.
Sean in Oregon, it's like inviting the 2 teams that played in the Super Bowl last year the right to go straight to the playoffs next year.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's, I don't know. What I find interesting is, and again, I'm not intending this to be a smear campaign at all, because we've done enough of that. And I do think they made some steps in the right direction to correct some things from last year.
Sure.
But it seems like, my God, you had so many withdrawals last year and you're trying to fill a 50-person field. Just seems aggressive. And they tout that they didn't like the inconsistency of the game season, that every year it changed. And here we are, season 2 of the WFP, some pretty substantial changes.
I wouldn't say wildly different, but definitely some substantial changes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you got 3 stops, but now your point system is different. Your qualification system is different. You did away with an entire division in the challenger division. So, I mean, can we say wildly different? I mean, I would say that's pretty close, right? Same basic structure, 1, 2, 3. And 3, with 3 being the final, but different ways to get there, different people that you're inviting, different, like, you, again, try not to repeat myself, but you just did away with an entire division.
Well, it's like they said, okay, we have these top end athletes that withdrew last year and we don't want to lose them forever. So how can we create loopholes to get them back into the mix if they want to come back? So we had 5 invitees. And then someone in here put Luca rule for the 10 that finished. But while I see what they're saying with the Luca rule, I think it's more that, hey, all these people dogged us last year and you guys chose to come and compete, and we want to reward you for doing that.
Yeah, that's how I'm looking at it. Like, hey, thanks for coming, because y'all showed up, you know, didn't just blow us off because it was Christmas time or whatever. If you want to show up, you can show up. Here's your invitation. You don't have to do anything else.
Right. And then if you want Jason Hopper to come back and he's willing to, you want to have that ability to have a wild card invite. So you add that to the mix.
Yeah.
And there's a big list of people they could invite, like Jay Crouch. I was just picking a name as an example.
Right. It's an interesting choice. I don't know if I necessarily agree with it. I don't like the whoever it was that said, it's like inviting the people who won the Super Bowl strictly to playoffs last year. There's some other competitions that I've been a part of that do the same thing. If you finished on their podium last year, you might get an invite. And for that particular competition, it can knock other people who qualified out of a qualifying spot, even though those people didn't actually do the qualifier. And instead of having a list of 20 people, now you really and truly have a list of 17 or maybe 15, depending on if you're going to invite some other people just randomly. Instead of expanding that number and going, these are 20 people that qualified through a qualifier. If these other people want to come, we're going to go from a 20-man field to a 23-man field or 25, whatever the case may be. And then we're going to invite we might invite these other people. And if they say they're coming, then we're just going to add to that instead of knocking the people down who did the qualifier.
Well, I don't think they're knocking the people down who did the qualifier because they're saying 15. And then if people turn them down for the other invitations, then they'll grow the qualification field. So I'm cool with that. Unlike like your experience with MFC last year, where they said 20 and then they reduced the qualifiers down after the fact, and you got the boot because they changed their mind. I'm cool with WFP saying, hey, we're going with 15, and that's the floor.
Right.
If you finish 17th, you may have a shot if we can't invite 5 people. As long as they're being transparent up front,
yeah,
I'm much cooler with it than what happened to you last year.
It makes a whole lot more sense at that point. It makes a whole lot more sense.
We invited John Cena, but we can't see him. Ask NFL players about their experience with Mexico games. I don't need to ask. I've seen it. Yeah.
I get it. Mexico City is like one of the biggest cities on the face of the planet. And I would like to, if I knew I was going to get kidnapped and or murdered, I'd visit Mexico City. Having said that, I do not want to go and do a CrossFit competition on top of the world. They just soon be on top of Mount Everest at that point.
Yeah, I think that what the NFL experienced was bad facilities, bad turf, all of that kind of stuff. I think an indoor venue that they're going to use probably isn't going to experience that. They're probably going to bring in their own flooring, their own rig. Like they're not going to encounter the things that the NFL did when they went to Mexico. But they keep going back. So, ticket sales drive everything. So
I would say at it's less the facilities at that point than it is the altitude. Is really the biggest thing that people are probably talking about. Just being at 5,200 feet above sea level. The air's not the same. It's not the same as where you and I are.
I mean, they held an Olympics there and it made a dramatic effect, right? So
100%. Yeah, and then with CrossFit,
good luck with the local hires, air quality, and water.
Yeah,
and logistics of getting the equipment to the venue
without it being kidnapped or set on fire or whatever. It's got one of the highest crime rates also on the face of the planet. So,
yeah. Wayne Short makes a great point. Invitees leave room for those that skip Tour Stop 1 and fail to qualify for the games. Just remember, though, that what I just explained to you as the criteria to get into these tour stops, this is only for Tour Stop 1.
Yeah.
We don't know what Tour Stop 2 is going to be.
Hey, you know what? Good on them. Again, nobody on this show, nobody in this space that as far as I can tell, is wishing for them to fail. Not at all, right? If people see high-end athletes doing functional fitness moves, and it somehow drives that person to get up off their couch and go join an affiliate or just start moving in general, so much the better. But our biggest problem was, and probably still will be, is a whole lot of this and not a lot of doing. That was the whole problem, right? We're going to do it better. We're going to do it bigger. We're going to do it better. We're going to do it bigger. We're going to do it better. And then it turned out it wasn't. That's it.
But again, this is not a smear campaign. This is
no smear whatsoever.
Hey, they've done some nice correcting to the course of everything.
Yep.
Now we're nitpicking some things. So we would nitpick them from at least looking in the mirror and making some changes.
Correct. Good on them. We would nitpick the exact same things for the games, and have been. So,
our last smear is everything bagel, double cream cheese.
I am not against an everything bagel. Big fan, as a matter of fact.
I'm actually, I know that there are some down parts about Mexico City, but I'm anxious to see what the crowd is like for a CrossFit event in Mexico City. We've gone to Brazil, like Copa Sur and all of that kind of stuff. I'm actually anxious to see what turns out in Mexico City. If the place is jam-packed full, that's an interesting data point, right?
Yeah, good on them.
Yeah. So in that realm, I think that's going to be fascinating to see what happens.
Good on them. I hope again, wish them nothing but the best.
And yeah. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about on this whole front is the Barbell Spin did a great job putting together the calendar for the year with both WFP and the games. So the one thing, and this isn't even WFP related, just everything that happens before the Open actually starts. You have NorCal qualifiers, LatAm qualifiers, Mad Fitness qualifiers, French Throwdown qualifiers, Copa Sur qualifier, Far East Throwdown qualifier, and then you have the WFP Tour Stop 1 qualifier, Rebel Renegade Games qualifier, all before the Open.
And then the Open.
Isn't that insane?
That is bananas crazy, dude. That is absolutely bananas crazy. Matter of fact, I was on my way back to the office. I was talking to one of my partners, and we was trying to plan out what we wanted to do for our competitions this year. And like my big overarching thing right now is to be able to finish quarterfinals high enough to, qualify to be able to compete in person at semifinals. And that's before anything else. But before that, there's two separate qualifiers. One is for Monster Games and one is for, the regular Magic City Games, not the semifinal, that both start within the next couple of weeks. So I'm going to be doing those, also training for the Open, also looking at possible semifinal. It's not completely backwards, but it's something, that is for certain.
So the other place where WFP fits in you have WFP Tour Stop 1 the same weekend as Copa Sur, Far East, and the Magic City Games. Tour Stop 2 is 3 weeks after the games again, or 4 weeks maybe. And we heard some of the top end athletes say that they actually were really tired at that Tour Stop 2 last year, right after the games. And again, it looks like December 17th to the 20th is the Copenhagen Games. At least it's like a full week before Christmas almost. So, but yeah, it is a jam-packed schedule. And I see people in here saying there's better calendars online, and there may be, but this one just kind of shows you there's just a lot. There's a lot to manage through. If you want to be a competitive athlete through this season, it's going to take some planning and really sitting down and determining what your priority is and how you want it to be?
The NorCal Classic qualifiers are online or happening right now, FYI. That's another one that's already taken place.
Yeah. So it's crazy. Anyway, we wanted more opportunity. We're getting lots of opportunity. Let's see how it plays out this year. I am planning on going to Indianapolis this year to see Tour Stop 2, just because I want to see it.
It's not far, right?
No, it's 2.5 hours for me.
Yeah.
To go to that. So I'll probably head over there. It's the end of August. I don't generally have a lot going on at that point in time. So, and hopefully medically, me and my wife are good after January this year. And that'll be something we can do.
Good deal.
Your parents caught you with a CrossFit cigarette, so here's a whole pack of CrossFit.
Yeah. Oh, you want CrossFit? I'm gonna give you some CrossFit.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, I like that.
Want to make sure we shout out our sponsor, Thirdsy. Make sure you go to thirdsy.com /Jazzy, JAZZY, Jazzy. That gets you 15% off your order. Dude, I'm now becoming addicted to the stuff. Not literally, but like, man, the sleep I get with that and when I don't take it is so much different.
It's night and day. Night and day.
And now I need if I don't drink the liquid at night, now I get like my mouth is all dry, like 2:30 a.m. and I'm looking for something to drink.
Got all this going on.
So I love what it does for my sleep. I love that I wake up refreshed in the morning. I used to fall asleep at my desk. I don't do that anymore. And thank God, because I need this job to pay the bills.
As it turns out, yeah. No, dude, same. My measurables are up, and it's the only thing that's I've done different is started taking that every single night. So shout out to Thirdsy. Go get some. Use code Jazzy.
Thirdsy.com /Jazzy. What happens if something wakes you mid-sleep? You okay? Yeah. I get up. I'm old. So I have to pee in the middle of the night, regardless of what I do. So I get up, I pee. I try to do it with my eyes closed. I feel for the walls and everything. And then I just climb back into bed and out I go.
I even pee less, and I have to get up and pee less in the middle of the night. That's another thing I noticed. Like before Thirdsy, I was getting up once, sometimes twice to go pee. And now I just wake up and I'm like, oh, yeah, I need to go. Pretty bad.
Yeah. I was listening to the Mayhem podcast this morning, the Froning podcast, I guess it is now. And I'm not the whole way through it, but some interesting things that I heard, not that it was the main topic of conversation, but some things I heard in that conversation that were interesting to me were that HQ is doing a review of the programming for the Mayhem Classic. And I think they now have a template spreadsheet that you fill out, and it actually gives you instant feedback of what you're missing in your programming on the spreadsheet. If I heard Rory correctly, he entered that because the programming is done for the Classic. He entered it into this spreadsheet, and it'll say, hey, you're missing a sprint, or hey, you're missing this movement or whatever. And then they have to send that to HQ, and it gets one more set of eyes on it. But it's in this spreadsheet that's already done some of the work for them. And I thought, if that's true, and CrossFit has done that, that is a major step forward for the programming of the semifinals.
Of all of them.
Right. If all of these third-party semifinals are required to enter their programming into this spreadsheet, and instant feedback as to what is missing and those types of things, and then HQ is taking a look at that spreadsheet that is already giving them feedback, I think that is a major, major, major step forward with where we're going with the semifinals.
That's a huge deal. Huge deal.
And whoever came up with that idea,
give that person a raise. We'll give them a golf clap right now. That's So here's a template. We won't actually, and I wonder if like their stuff filled in before they filled their stuff in. Does that make sense? Like,
so I think there are formulas and algorithms probably hidden behind the spreadsheet. And as you like, it'll say workout 1, you have to type it in, right? Workout 2, you have to type it in. And then the algorithm or the formulas behind that analyze what movement is it? Is it gymnastics?
time duration?
Structural? Is it blah, and then it determines if things are missing. Time domain, because Rory did mention time domain is something they got feedback from.
That's a super useful tool if that is in fact what they have for all of them, not just for Mayhem, like for everybody's sake.
Jonathan asks, it probably came from NorCal Fiasco, and Dave saying we probably should have helped them more and given them guidance. I don't think it necessarily came from NorCal. I think there were enough complaints about some of the semifinal programming, and it wasn't limited to just NorCal.
Well, it's semifinal programming, masters programming, anything that's got anything to do with the games where there were enough loud voices saying, hey man, this was just not a good test, or some of this test was okay. Some of it was crap. Or if you listen to Jamie, it was all crap. Love you, Jamie. But
do you think Dave will use the spreadsheet?
I think Dave wrote the spreadsheet.
I'm guessing. Or he had input. I'm sure he
had input. I doubt he was in Excel or whatever, like making it out. But I'm certain he was probably working with someone pretty close to say, okay, we need to have this, and this. This is what my season is going to look like. Because he crafts the entire thing, right? From the open all the way through the games. Every year's got a theme. So if we're doing that and we're going to help these people, then I need to have something here that they can take their program and put it into here and see how it matches up, what it has, what it doesn't have, and then we can make adjustments from there if need be. That's a really good idea.
CrossFit says, I'm guessing you could probably teach machine learning this based on tests over the years. Amanda, It sounds like a script is running. Exactly. A script is just an automated algorithm, right, that you've typed in. CrossFit, Carolyn only thought the Mayhem programmed ones were crap, so basically they all were.
Right.
Actually, Carolyn loves Mayhem programming. And she is she won the Everyday Heroes games, right? She loves Mayhem programming. I think she just thought that there was way too much influence from Mayhem on the season. Was really her complaint.
That's a legitimate complaint. I mean, they were involved in 5 out of 8.
Yeah,
that's a lot. That's a lot for one season.
And I think they said it was either on that show or Rich on Savon said that Daniel Chaffee was in town and they were working with him on the French Throwdown. So I don't think that Mayhem helping with programming is going anywhere soon.
Why would it? Like, the vast majority of the people who were saw the things, they were a little concerned about the Mayhem athletes doing the Mayhem programming at these Mayhem programmed events, right? Which again is a legitimate concern. But other than that, the vast majority of it was straight up CrossFit, like old school, just the stuff that Rich programs or whoever's in charge of the programming programs. So
she loves the programming. She didn't love the lack of diversity. I didn't either. It seemed very repetitive. As someone who loves to watch the sport and loves to watch the qualification process to the games, I don't want to see Heavy Isabel 47 times. I don't want to see the same sandbag workout 12 times. I want to see some diversity in what I'm watching.
I mean, that's fair. Same. I didn't like the idea. Let me rephrase that. I liked the idea that everybody was going to do Heavy Isabel for semifinals until you actually started playing out, and then you're like, oh, here we go. Now this guy's going to do Heavy Isabel. Now this do Heavy Isabel. Now
Or this guy's taking his 7th attempt at Heavy Isabel because he signed up for all of the events.
Because he's done it at 4 different places now and online. Yeah, absolutely.
And he's beat his score every time, and now he's doing it in superhuman speed. Yeah, just ridiculous. The other thing they weren't intending to announce, but they did say that the invites have gone out, and they got more returned positive wanting to sign up for Mayhem this year than they did last year. And they kind of like just through a conversation released that Jason Hopper has signed up for Mayhem because he lost his email and could not find it and was calling to complain that he wasn't invited on the first round. So Angelo had to walk him through what spam email is. Just re-email to another email address to get him to get it. And they said that they knew that some had gone to spam because DB went to spam and they had to work with her to find it as well. So I'm assuming that those two are going to Mayhem for sure.
That is the most Jason Hopper thing to have ever Jason Hopper. Like, I didn't get an invite. You said I was getting an invite. I didn't get an invite. Have you checked your email? Yeah. Have you checked all your email? What do you mean? Like, that's how I feel like that conversation went.
Well, Angelo said, he said, I checked my priority. I checked my, like all the things that Gmail now splits it into. He goes, I tried all of them. And none of them that he listed were spam.
Did you though? Did you, Jason?
DB and Jason being those two color me shocked.
Yeah.
Yeah. All of that happens in the first probably 10 minutes of the Rich Froning podcast. And then it got into a lot of this triathlon training that they're going to do in Cozumel. The Mayhem crew are doing a Ironman.
So when I heard Rich say that he was probably going to do a triathlon, my head always goes back to that Outside magazine tweet where they had a picture of Rich coming up out the water at the try that they did, whenever that was, 2011 or so, something like that. And the caption said, training for a triathlon is the best way to get in shape. This guy will tell you. And then Rich subtweeted underneath and said, I'm that guy. And no, I won't tell you that. So now that tweet could come back around because it's relevant again, because now he's actually going to do a triathlon, and he's going to do CrossFit training to actually train for a triathlon. So
yeah, he says he's not. He said the only thing he's really going to work on is transitions from the bike to the run, because every small triathlon he's done, that's been the bit hardest part, and that he's going to up his swimming, but basically just train like he always does.
Right. Yeah. Do a little bit more swimming, practice getting off the bike and getting my shoes on to start running. Yeah. Easy day.
Like when High Rocks used his jogging photo. Wayne Short, they also said Vellner and Crouch declined. I missed that part. Again, I run these podcasts while I'm working. So like I'm just listening and I try to pick out things that I hear. So I did not hear that part, but thank you for updating us on that.
Yeah. So what Sten said, they should have sent Hopper's invitation to Grace Ann and let her just handle that, because that's probably would have been the best thing to do.
Grace Ann needs to tell Jason, hey, just give them my email and not yours.
Yeah. Can you just give them my stuff and I'll just take care of that next time, please? Thank you.
Yeah. He just needs a personal assistant or Grace Ann.
Yeah.
CrossFit. He didn't say more biking. He just said he was going to go back to his CrossFit training days and go back to making weekly swims a thing. And then he just wanted to test the transition from bike to run, going from that crouched position to trying to become upright to start running?
So here's what I love about that is that he's like, I'm not competitive. I'm just going to go do it, blah, 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 whatever. I'm also going to practice my transition, getting off the bike and getting my shoes on and getting onto the run so I can do that as smoothly as humanly possible. Okay, Rich.
Yeah.
We've been watching you, dude, since like 2010-ish, something along those lines. We got a good beat on it. I'm just saying.
Well, it's like his first games. He learned how to transition from the top of the rope to the bottom of the rope more efficiently from 2010 to 2011.
Yeah, well, his first transition was super efficient because he just fell. That's the fastest way to get down.
Not competitive, but going to prepare like a psycho, like anything else. Yeah.
Exactly.
Rich will never not be competitive in anything.
Dude, his high school baseball coach said he was diving for ground balls in a parking lot. That's all you need to know about that dude. Like, that's the kind of dude that he is.
Yeah.
Asphalt.
Yeah, that was when I heard that was just insane. Although there was a time in my life that I was that guy.
For me, it depends on what's going on, like what's at stake. If I really want to win that bad, then yeah, it doesn't really matter. I'll just deal with the pain later. It's fine.
I suffered more injuries in intramural sports than I did actually on a competitive field.
Playing adult soccer, like adult co-ed league soccer, I had probably one of the worst injuries I've ever had in my entire life, from a goalkeeper literally landing on my foot while my toes were pointed like this, and my ankle was here, and my foot went that way to where the top of my foot touched the ground. Yeah, it was fantastic. Do not recommend that, by the way. I'm like, dude, I was turning away from you with the ball. Like, why are you coming to get that? That doesn't make any sense. I had to crawl off the field.
Well, yesterday we talked about partnerships. One of the ones I forgot to mention yesterday was that Mayhem and CrossFit partnered to do the Everyday Heroes games, where they brought in people from the medical, teaching, military, police, fire, to compete together at Mayhem. And Carolyn was one of those people. She said it was an amazing experience. Mayhem just sent her a custom barbell like a week ago, that is beautiful. It says Mayhem Athlete on it. It's baby blue, and the Cerakote bar with the shiny stainless steel collars.
Nice.
But super sweet. That's one of the partnerships they're doing. It was announced earlier this week that Coaches Congress and CrossFit are partnering now, which I think is monumental to have this entity that works on making coaches better in the CrossFit space is now partnering with CrossFit.
Yeah.
Right. The educational team that puts together the L1, the L2, the L3 is now going to partner with this entity that has these gatherings where coaches come together and share their experiences and share their best practices. I think is really freaking awesome.
Makes everybody better. Rising tide raises all ships. The more knowledge you get in a room with people that are actually willing to listen, right? If you go into attend a coach conference because you want to get better and you want to listen, you're not going over there thinking, I know everything. Nobody who signs up for that does that. So you're going to get better. You're going to listen. You're going to hear a different perspective, different takes on how to, triage people when they walk in the door and how to prioritize good movement, better than what you're already doing. No, I'm a huge fan. That's a great idea.
And this year's Open, they're partnering with Wodapalooza in Miami to do 26.3, and allowing the general pop to come in to Wodapalooza and do the workout. It will be one of the events for all of the competitive divisions, so they'll get their workout out on the floor. I think that's a brilliant move too. If you've never been to Wodapalooza, it is one of the most well-attended events in the CrossFit space. It's Miami Beach. It's cold in the north. People trying to get out of here. Go hang out on the beach for a couple days. It's a great place to highlight what the Open is, and that Loud and Live decided to partner with them to do that at their event. I think was really cool.
I want to go one year just to go, just because I've never been, and I just want to go see, like, fittest. I mean, I really just want to go see, just to catch all the spectacle. It's going to be badass.
Yeah, CrossFit says this year it's spring break. It's still going to be cold in the north. Spring break is cold up here. What I'll tell you about Wodapalooza is I really enjoyed my time there, but I really enjoyed my time in the crowds and walking around and meeting a ton of people and seeing people that I've met in the space for years and years. I have not been to the new location, the old one at Bayfront. Watching the competition was hard. Like, if you're there to watch the competition, getting a seat was difficult. The floor is 30 lanes wide. Seeing someone on the far side was impossible. But to meet all the people and to see all the people is better than any other event that I've ever gone to.
That's a pretty strong endorsement, boys and girls.
Probably the biggest vendor village you'll ever see.
I like going to walk around Vendor Village just to go see all the stuff that people bring. This stuff.
Well, and it's different than other vendor village. I mean, they have tattoo artists at this vendor village just doing tattoos in the middle of Wodapalooza, right? It's just they're very open to whoever wants to come in and sell or whatever, right? And there's tons of community events all throughout I've not been to Miami Beach, but there are tons of places for the community to come and get a workout in.
Yeah, activations, all that kind of stuff. I'm gonna say this too, is that I expect 26.3 to be a badass workout because they're doing it there, because it's going to be a part of Wodapalooza. Like, it's going to be an actual event over there. Like, I expect. So, Dave saying on his weekend review the other day that, we're gonna kick off the Open,
with a bang,
blah, blah, whatever. I'm hoping to God it's not another dumbbell / burpee workout, because that's not a kicking off with a bang, if you ask me. But I really do feel like that one especially, and I know the other one's going to be announced somewhere else. They're all doing their thing and whatnot. But the fact that one's going to be at Wodapalooza, I just feel like something special is going to be cooked up for that. And I could be wrong. Maybe 26.3 will be dumbbells and freaking burpees, but I just don't feel like it.
Lana's going for the first time this year. Jody, they used to have the CrossFit cruise right after Wodapalooza. If you've never seen video from that, like the workouts they were doing on the ship deck, crazy. And then Ken's always got to tell us when he leaves. I don't have any noose around your neck, and I don't have anything holding you here, buddy.
No, love you, Ken. Go watch Colton. As if you were.
I wonder if Wodapalooza will have space for volunteers to do the Open workout. I would hope so. I think they should make it a volunteer event and film it. Here's the volunteers of Wodapalooza all doing the Open workout together.
That'd be good content.
Yeah.
That would be good content.
The last thing I wanted to address before we sign off today is I got a comment about, we talked about rivals in sport on Monday, I think. I don't know, it's all blurring together for me. And how it's good. It started with the handshake with the Bears coach and the Packers coach. And I love it. I love the fact that we hate our rival and the city's behind it. And I think it brings cool drama to the space. And I think that's something CrossFit is missing. I think we need more heated rivals in the space. And someone made a comment, and it was a legit comment, that we had our drama last year with WFP versus CrossFit. And I would say that's not the drama I'm looking for. That is splitting the space, and I don't like that. That
Right.
created a rift, that created a split. I don't like that. I want people back together, but I want that Laura and Tia don't get along.
And I want them on the same floor while they're not getting along.
Right.
I want Tia to look and see Laura coming at the corner of her eye, and all of a sudden, like, really, as much fast as you thought she was moving before, puts the hammer down because there's no way I'm letting her body.
Right. And I think like there are some athletes that have that dog in them. Like I think Lucy Campbell is that kind of dog. Like she doesn't want to lose. And she's going to tell you she doesn't want to lose. And she's going to look you in the eye and say she doesn't want to lose. And that doesn't mean she's a bad person, but I think we need to highlight the dogs.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe that's a better way of putting it. And that's the drama I want. I don't want the drama that splits us. I want the drama that when we're all together, we're going to throw down and it's going to get ugly. I don't have to shake your hand. I don't have to say pleasantries before we start. I'm coming out here to kick your ass. Hard stop.
We need more Colton Mertens. Colton, what do you think about this last workout? All these nerds knew I was fixing to come out here and beat them. Like that's the kind of stuff he says on the microphone, and I think we need more of that.
Jokovic is a prick to some, but has fans. Exactly. Everybody there in this world from 90s wrestling, people love heels. People love the villain in the space. If you live long enough as a hero, you're going to turn into the villain.
Does not matter. That is a fact.
I like when I hear Insane Philip Rivers audio. Yeah, because that guy is the best trash talking person without profanity I've ever seen. Dadgummit.
And is serious about it too. Like he's not saying it ironically at any given point. He just throws it out there. It's fantastic.
Sean, where did I say anywhere in this that they had to dislike each other? If they do, that can be a bonus. But I just want people that don't have to be nice about it the whole time. Like I am coming out here to kick your ass. It just makes sense. I want to be able to root for one athlete over another. If I root for all the athletes, I'm not as invested.
No.
If it matters to me who wins that event, because I love this person way over the other person, then I'm invested, right? And because everybody is so likable and everybody shakes hands and you come down the floor and you root on the last place finisher, that's great in a class. On the competition floor, I want you to want to beat them by 2 laps. You have to be invested on who you're rooting for, or it doesn't matter. And that means show your personality. Tell me who you are.
I think one of the most underrated or subtle ones, examples of that was when Matt Fraser, when they did, which workout was it? With the dumbbell deadlifts and the parallel handstand push-ups. That the year before he didn't have to. He had to do the minimum work requirement because he'd already had it sewed up, and then they threw it in the middle of the games the next year. And he said, "Last year I didn't really have to do this one. This year I want to see how what I could actually do on it." Like that was some subtle. Like I'm fixing to wax everybody here because I can. Type shit without him actually saying that. Like bring that kind of stuff out. Have an attitude, dude. Like
we had a little Adler and Krennikov, but it died quickly. Yeah. Roman getting hurt didn't help that.
No.
If Roman stays healthy through that games, I think it's a lot more than we got.
Yeah.
Wayne, you can talk trash without disliking somebody. The bike and banger one when he complained about George Sanchez.
He was complaining about Noah because Noah's was straight hooking that thing the entire time.
Yeah. Wanting that passion, fight, and desire is exactly why Noah Olson was so damn annoying. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Amanda is guessing Fibonacci.
Yes, that's it, Fibonacci, because they had the final the year before, and then they did it again the next year.
Yeah, this is what I want. I want like Matt Frazier calling Noah Olson Dinkle Nuts.
Dinkle Nuts over here was just hooking it the whole time.
It doesn't mean that Matt dislikes Noah. It just means he was pissed off in that moment that he got to cheat and
won.
Compete against the cheater.
Yeah. It's entertaining. And it's Matt being Matt at that point.
The athlete heels act like it's a bad thing. Lean into it. Hey, it's worked for Danielle Brandon for a long time. And she has as many fans as anybody in the sport.
That's a fact.
Swagger. Frazier Trash Talk was the best and the funniest. Yeah. I thought he was his best early in his career. And then after he got into a long-term relationship with Sammy, he kind of mellowed out a bit.
Oh, Sammy definitely softened some of those edges.
Like those early behind the scenes or documentaries and behind the scenes when Frazier's trying to beat Froning and trying to beat Ben Smith, like that is classic trash talking. And he would even trash talk himself. Mm-hmm. He was a dumbass for trying to flip the pig.
What am I dumbass?
Curling it every time instead of, yeah.
When Ben told him, "Oh, dude, it was easy. It's just like flipping a tire," and he's like,
"I've never flipped a tire.
Never flipped a tire."
Yeah, those were the best. All right, that's about enough for today. I got to get back to work. Time for you knuckleheads to get back to work as well. I guess the CrossFit, or what is it? The podcast of the Sport of Fitness podcast.
Sport of Fitness
5 now. I'm guessing because Ken left us, it's because Colton Mertens is on it. So go check that out now. Jenny's Dents update was good today, and I think she's promising something very interesting later this week. So yeah, we'll have to check that out. Yeah, Sport of Fitness. My bad. It's been a long week, man. I had doctor's appointment yesterday, doing pre-op stuff, and had to drive an hour and a half to get there. Anyway, with that, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you, Jody. That's why you're our favorite, because you'll never leave. With that, it's Wednesday. I know, like it has been a long week halfway through. Thank goodness I get a 3-day weekend this weekend.
Oh.
Martin Luther King Jr. Day on Monday.
I don't know if we got MLK Day off or not. We might. We should. It's a banking holiday, isn't it?
It's federal holiday.
Federal holiday. Yeah, we probably have it off.
No mail, no banks.
No banks is what gets us. That's why we generally have it off. The banks are closed. Chances better not we're closed. Anyway. All right. Yeah.
All right. Don't forget to like and subscribe, people. We need it. We need help. With that, we'll see everybody next time on Lunch with the Clydesdale.